Okay, this is my ninth grader's planner this year. This is the first time we've used this one. Um, Usually I get there's a 4-year high school planner that I have gotten from my other high school boys, but I thought I would just do this one this year to see how it worked. And we are in November already. I don't know how that happened, but here we are. I just plan for him week by week. So, and I really just see where he's at. I try to keep him caught up, but there are days that, like for his math, I had to scratch out. He has gone a week behind, but it was because of some opportunities that came up. So that's okay. I have over here, let's see if you can see it better, shadowing. Grammar, writing, science, history, and Bible. So, and he pretty much does Bible on his own. He's pretty faithful about getting up and reading or studying from a devotional type book. So I let him, he actually will fill that in sometimes. So, but I'm going to get at least this week's filled out. And the reason I thought about this video is because we were talking about his history, which we use Heart of Dakota, and where he was at, and at the rate he was going when he would be done. And it wasn't till the end of May, and I know he likes to finish earlier. So we're going to try, because thank goodness it is a 4-day week program, the Heart of Dakota history, which includes a lot. It includes his logic, his world religion, and a few other things I'll show you. But I think we're going to add in the Fridays I said, if you do it for 5 or 6 weeks, he could spread it out, whatever, that it will get him caught up to where he needs to be. So we are going to work on that today. Okay, I have Fix It Grammar. That will be his grammar. And he is pretty far ahead of this because if you watch my curriculum video for 9th grade, we were doubling up, but we are slowing that down. And I thought we might, but I wasn't sure. The beginning was just a lot of review. So what I'm going to mark on this is that he will just do 1 day a week, and it'll just be a check off. He has his vocabulary words, of course, that he'll do each day, and then he'll have to write it out. So I'm going to do that real quick. Okay, this is IEW that we have for his writing in his book, and we're gonna be on week or lesson 9. The nice thing about IEW is it does have day 1, day 2, 3, and 4, and this level is actually a 4-day. Now I will tell you there are weeks that I have spread this out to 2 weeks, but we're going to work on this and try to get this done in 1 week. You have goals, and then you have your actual assignments. I put these check mark boxes next to the numbers for each day because it'll just help him focus. If he sees a check mark, he knows that he doesn't have to go back and read that, because it can get like, where am I? What have I done? Especially sometimes it's more than just the keyword outline. There will be things for him to read and go over, and of course there'll be the keyword outline. Then there's structure practice, sorry, right here. Style practice, and then some dress ups, and then there's always a vocabulary practice. So, okay, I thought I had gotten this on video, but I did not. But I went ahead and looked through it a little bit better, and there was a couple things I want to be sure that he comes to me about. So I have see mom, and just sort of underlined some things I want him to focus on. And then I went ahead and wrote, really all I have to write is day 1. we have lesson 9, day 1, day 2, day 3, and day 4. And since it is a 4-day program, he does have a 5th day. Like if he gets a little bit behind, he does have a writing project every week for his history. It's not huge, but it is just another project that he has to do. So that's why we sometimes spread this out for 2 weeks. But so he will see the note where it says "See Mom" there. I'll also see it. I wrote it in the book. Now, I may not remember why he's coming to me, so I will say, "Bring me your book." That's what I need to see. And then when I see why I wrote it, I will remember that I want to see what he has down for his keyword outline and go over the clincher rule for him. So I did want to mention that. Okay. For most of his other subjects, he will be looking at this book, which is World Geography from Heart of Dakota, and pretty much has the schedule all laid out in it. I do have a video about how that works. But I still will write. I think the reason I want to write things down a little bit is to keep record. He is a high schooler, so and it seems to be working well for us. I'm going to be writing down his science. So right now I sort of looked at it real quick, and science is just going to be the first few days reading out of his science book that he's using for science, and he is on lesson 3. And I started writing this down and I wrote the wrong weeks down, so I'm going to go back and fix that. But he is on book 3, and so I'm just going to go over here. It says 9 and 10, and I wrote down last week's. And then I'm going to fix all those. So the next day would be 11 and 12, and he's used to Mama's scribbles, so I think he'll be able to read that. And on day 4, they are performing a lab. So I think I'm going to say, "See Mom," which he probably would anyways. He knows how to get the box of lab stuff and the lab book out and can sometimes do it on his own. But I like to see what's going on and make sure he's just in the right direction with it. So on Thursday, I'm going to put lab, "See Mom" for science. Okay, I will continue to do the same thing I did with science with the actual history, which is the world geography, and then he'll have geography activities. He also has a living book that we're reading through, and world religion right here. So I'm going to sort of look through it, see if I need to make any notes, and then I will write more details in the planner. And I went ahead and wrote, this is how I usually do it just for history. World geography, which would be the history he's reading, geography, which would be the map work, logic, and WR is for world religion. So, okay, another thing I'm going to fill in is world religion cultures. And we had been reading out of the book Mimosa and also World Religion, an indispensable introduction. I'm looking at it over here. But I don't think I ordered this particular book, Sitting at the Feet of Rabbi Jesus. I don't remember why I didn't. I sort of just looked it up to think, can I find it somewhere to read free? But it's not available for that. And I really don't have time to order it. And I'm sort of questioning whether it would be a book that I'm ready to look through with my 9th grader. So I've looked through some of the key ideas, which are very helpful. They give you an idea what you're going to be reading about. And I think we might read over those and discuss them. But looking through my stuff, I'm looking at the catalog. This was the book. This is the one we just finished. And it looks like this one's next. And I have that one. And this is the book that we just read about Jewish religion. So I think for me, I know this is probably way off because it's not really a reader, but I think I'm going to go through it and just highlight some things I might want to talk about compared to the key ideas, if I can do that. This is actually an Abeka book, but it is a Bible Abeka book, and it's going to be about Jesus and his followers, so as his disciples. So I think I might try to substitute that for now. I think there's 4, 5, 7 days of this, which would be not quite a 2 weeks full of that before it moves on. So I think we're going to do that, and I'm not going to do that right now, but I'm going to take my time later and look through this and try to stick it on the schedule, which would be the world religion. And I might try to go ahead and put out the 7 days just to see what I want to read through here. And then we'll also be sure to look at the key ideas they have here and see if we can implement them into what we're doing. So I did want to mention that I've used this curriculum a couple times, but we've never done the world religion. So this, I didn't order all of the books. So there was probably reasoning, but I didn't realize that was coming up. So, and then I'm going to go ahead and schedule the history. I just write down a few things so he can have a check-off list in here. And pretty much same with his other, like with the writing, I can just say, see mom, or have a note. There's always key ideas in here, and I always try to make sure they read those. So it's really mainly doing the days and if there's any projects. And then I will fill in the world geography, and we are actually doing the living book, Big John's Secret, and he does logic 3 days and devotional. So I'm going to fill those in, and really all I do is he gets to mark whether he did them or not. I will mention, for example, like with logic, it will say the lesson number, and I just wrote the word, but he'll write the number in, like what lesson he's on, so we can be sure that we stay, like I don't write it and he doesn't stay with it. And actually, I just realized I wrote logic for the 4th day, and it's actually a devotional book he reads from. So, okay, I did want to mention that he does not do their particular Bible, but he does do their Bible memory, which is 1 Peter 1, 18 through 20. This is why I do like to have this book, because I did write it down over here. I think I would forget about it if it wasn't written in this book, is what I'm saying. So it is helpful for me, and I think that helps him too. And also, I don't write it down, but I'm almost wondering if I should. He's pretty good at it, but he takes piano lessons, and he knows. He puts that in his schedule and takes care of it. So I wanted to mention those 2 things. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed. I don't know if that was helpful to anybody or not. I am a very laid-back planner, but he is enjoying this. I don't know if it was necessary to spend the money on this. This is just a piece of paper that correlates with the test for his math after each lesson, that we could sort of review that if we need to. But obviously, he's not worried about filling. It's just not his personality to write in, all this kind of stuff. He's not I don't know. It is nice, though. I mean, it's a nice book, and goes all the way through May, June. Sort of giving you a flip through here. And then, oh, I didn't even realize they had a way of salvation in the back, some suggested scriptures to memorize, testimony. Now, see, he would be into that. He would like maybe to write that out. And maybe, look at me, I haven't even looked at this real good, but things I accomplished, that might be something I could help him fill out. So, opportunities he's had. We might go back and fill that in. Things I love. He's not my child. That's full of expression there, so I'm not sure. I am changed because, and some notes. So, and that's the book itself. It is from Mardel. So, This is the teacher's one that I use, also by Mardel. I'm pretty basic in my planning. When I had all the boys here and the other two in high school, I was a little bit more detailed in it, but with just my 4th grader, 9th grader, a little bit more laid back with it, but it's very helpful and it's very nice. And if you'd like to look through it, let me know. I'll do a walkthrough in the book. But I just wanted to share with you my 9th grader's planner and his plans, and I appreciate you all watching. If you like this type of content, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and share with your friends. Thank you so much.